have a grasp of all that transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you'll be able to see all that happened here on the show tonight. We are streaming live on our social media handles. On Facebook, we are streaming live at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are streaming live at Port of Tema. Port of Tema. On YouTube, we are streaming live at Eye on Port Ghana. Eye on Port Ghana. You can send us your messages and comments ahead via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0559-019-177. 0559-019-177. At the appropriate time, when I pick signals from my production team that the time is ripe for me to activate the phone lines, we shall do so for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the show. Please stay with us.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week. And indeed, we've been having some updates on the Port of GPHA project, and we had a board chairman of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority bringing us up to speed with what the status of that particular project is, plus the fact that GPHA has enhanced its capacity in crisis management. Let's take a look at these stories and more.
If you want to build a facility of that nature, then you've got to plan well. You know, I think we've done the basic, all the basic work that has to be done. At the moment, I think it's left the environmental and social impact analysis, which we have had several expressions of interest. Some have been shortlisted, and then they will be asked to bring in their financial and technical proposals for evaluation, after which we will select one consultant who then will undertake the environmental and social impact analysis. It's important because that is an input to whoever you want to attract to Keta. But Keta is interesting for me, not only because of its location and the potential for it to compete, but we are thinking of a marina as well. It's a beautiful beach, you know, and if we had a marina there, you know, I think people can bring in their yachts along the west coast. It's something beautiful, and then we can generate the beginnings of major tourism projects into the place. You know, Keta is something which is dear to me. Ever since I went there, we've been talking about Keta. But immediately we finish the environmental and social impact analysis, you know that we are ready to go out there and actually sell Keta. I'm hoping that before the end of this year, all the preliminary works, you know, feasibility study has been done, and it shows that there's a positive rate of return if we're able to do all those things. Now there was a scoping report, now the environmental impact analysis. Once we have that, then the various things that we need to do as preconditions would have been fulfilled, and then we can bring in a tender for actual works to proceed.
Even though the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has in the past made efforts to attain optimum levels of capacity when it comes to security, the organization knows better not to rest on its oars. To this end, selected senior management members of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have undergone a 4-day crisis management training exercise to enhance existing capabilities to effectively manage potential crises. The training program is under the WeCaps project, a European Commission-funded capacity building program to strengthen security and safety of West and Central African ports. The exercise was categorized into 4 sessions, namely risk culture, crisis management, crisis communication, and crisis simulation. Incident Commander and Harbour Master at the Port of Tema, Captain Francis Kwesi Maika, explained that GPHA recognizes the need for continuous improvement in all areas of operations to ensure the successful running of the ports of Ghana.
We'll need to be at the citadel or be at the crisis center to be able to work out the issue of containing the emergency that might come up. So this collaboration has gone on for some time, and we decided to have this training to bring out all the juices of the features that are prevalent in this kind of exposure.
Crisis management expert Fabrice Tolari said the feedback obtained is indicative of GPHA's preparedness for unforeseen incidents and circumstances.
Crisis management is more important. There is a lot of crisis situation today because the world is linking, every department is linking, and when you collapse one pillar, you collapse, effects, domino effects, and it's a crisis situation. For the port, it's more important to continue quickly the activity. Today, the port is prepared to the crisis situation.
I wish you all the best, and thank you all for the participation. You took it as seriously as possible. It's been a good experience for all of us, and we hope to continue throughout the year on year. We have to do exercises like this.
As facilities of international trade, Ghana's ports are subject to the requirements of the Environmental Protection Agency. One of such requirements is the review of the environmental performance of the ports with the aim for continuous improvement. To this end, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has contracted an environmental consultant, Coastal and Reclamation Engineering Services Limited, to audit its environmental performance and develop a comprehensive environmental management plan as well as an oil spillage contingency plan. Ahead of its expected completion before the end of 2022, the authority has engaged the various stakeholders who operate in the port enclave to obtain their inputs for the project.
Today we called the stakeholders, the major stakeholders in the port, to discuss the environmental management plan with them and seek their inputs into it. A similar one has been done in Takoradi 2 weeks ago, and this one is for Tema.
We met the aim today. It's been useful. We've picked up things we didn't capture during our own activities, had additional input. Yeah, it's been very useful.
The environmental management plan will enable Ghana's ports operate sustainably.
The group CEO and managing director of the leading oil marketing company in Ghana, GOIL PLC, Kwame Osei Prempeh, has disclosed that the company's bitumen plant being constructed in Tema is expected to start commercial production in August this year. This, he believes, will reduce Ghana's import bill significantly. Speaking at the 53rd annual general meeting of the company, which was held virtually, he said the 7,000 metric ton storage capacity plant worth $35 million is 99.9% complete. According to him, there would be a test run of the plant in July ahead of the commercial production in August this year.
Our engineers from the US are in tying the knots, and all things being equal, you hope that by end of June this year, they'll finish their work, and in July, we start the test run. And by August, we start the commercial production so that the company will start enjoying from our investment that we have made.
The board chairman of GOIL PLC, Reginald Daniel Lai, said the company registered a profit after tax of 98.74 million Ghana cedis, up by 9% compared to the 90 million it made in 2020. He averred that the company's earnings per share also increased from 23 pesos to 25 pesos.
I came to inherit a strong company, and our commitment is to make it stronger. And I think we are taking every step to make sure that we improve upon performance, we improve upon practices, we improve upon the culture, and at the end of the day, we're beginning to see results.
Despite the challenging nature of the year 2021, the company's volume of sales of fuel was approximately 886 million litres, about 11% above that of last year.
So those were happenings in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week here in Ghana. It's now time for us to go global and see what's happening on the international scene.
UK-based Artemis Technologies, a spin-off from the Artemis Racing America's Cup sailing team, has launched to market the world's first commercially viable 100% electric high-speed foiling workboat range. Developed and built in Belfast, the zero-emission vessels are said to be the greenest workboats on the planet and represent a £12 million investment in research and development. With a top speed of 34 knots and a range of 60 nautical miles at 25 knots cruise speed, the vessels produce energy savings of up to 90% compared to conventional fossil fuel workboats. British freight forwarder All Seas Global Logistics has launched its own shipping company, All Seas Shipping Company, calling it the first British registered shipping line launched in 40 years. This is another demonstration of logistic companies and manufacturers trying to gain stronger control over shipments after 2 years of supply chain disruptions. According to the company, the new shipping line is a natural extension of its existing expertise and business. They said the new shipping line combines the logistics and chartering expertise of All Seas Global Logistics with the container equipment experience of its sister company, First Containers Operation, and the shipping liner agency experience of DKT All Seas. Several media reports indicate that Mediterranean Shipping Company is preparing to take over Global Ports Holding, an operator primarily of cruise ports around the world, as well as some container terminals. Global Ports Holding said that its primary shareholder, a company controlled by Turkish businessman Mehmet Kutman, is in discussion with MSC. Global Ports has created a unique market position, focusing on cruise ports and positioning itself as the cruise ports brand with an integrated network of cruise ports serving cruise ships, ferries, yachts, and mega yachts. The company reports handling 1.5 million passengers annually with over 5,400 port calls. In addition to being the world's largest container shipping line, MSC also operates a growing international cruise brand that is becoming one of the largest in the world.
All right, so those were happenings in the international scene as far as the port and shipping industry is concerned. It's now time for us to zoom into our discussion proper tonight. Now, on the 6th of May 2022, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority celebrated the Occupational Health, Safety and Environment Week, which coincided with the World Environmental Week. And on the 10th of May, again, the authority also joined the rest of the country in the Green Ghana project. And the authority has its own special project, now to green the harbour enclave and its environs. And so symbolically, we were joined by the Deputy Minister for Transport, Management Board, as well as staff, the senior and junior staff unions, to plant trees, even though there was a downpour. And so tonight, we are taking a look at the sustainability of our environment and the role of ports. And so it gives me pleasure this evening to introduce to you Mr. James Benjamin Gazy. He is General Manager, Estate Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. I also introduce to you Mr. Bright Andy Beko, who is also Corporate Estate and Environment Manager, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. And indeed, Mr. Emmanuel Eshon, who is Chairman, Coastal Conservancy Organization, CCO. Good evening, gentlemen, and welcome to Iron Port.
Thank you.
GM, is this your first time this year?
Yes.
Your first time in 2022.
Yes.
Happy New Year, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Wright, your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Sean, your first time on Iron Port?
Yes.
Absolutely. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right, so before we start, let me come to GM, Estate Environment, Mr. Gazy, and find out from you about this particular environmental assessment and management plan for the ports. We just saw the story. Can you bring us the highlights of this particular program and what you sought to, as it were, achieve with it?
Yes, thank you, Kennedy. Let me say hello to all your viewers and wish all fathers happy Father's Day.
Absolutely.
Today is a special day for all fathers, so I wish all fathers happy Father's Day.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir.
As you are aware, port operation is, in fact, maritime shipping in itself put a lot of impact on the environment. So every port activity must be under the permit of environmental the overseers of the environment, that's the Environmental Protection Agency.
Yes.
So in 2008, the port decided to undertake strategic environmental assessment of the port to bring all the activities in the port under the scope of environmental assessment.
Right.
And we did that, and we produced the environmental management plan, produced the C report, and made it available to EPA. The report indicated that after 5 years, there should have been a review.
Right.
From 2008, we've not been able to review the report. So somewhere in 2019, we started making provision to review the report. Because a lot of things have happened in the port. We had the port expansion, we've had the Takoradi port expansion, and there are other activities also ongoing in the port that have negative impacts, environmental impact on the port. So we decided to review, audit the port environmentally and bring all those activities on board to look at each of them, how they individually impact and how they globally impact on the port activity. So CARES was finally selected after the tendering process to undertake this exercise for us. The end product is that CARES will produce for us an environmental management plan to be able as a tool to manage the port environment. So that is why you saw the stakeholders. As part of the exercise, there should be a stakeholders meeting to take inputs from stakeholders. So that's what was held at the port. A similar one had been held in Takoradi,
okay,
where the major stakeholders who are operating in the port were invited.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed for that update. We're so
but
grateful
to add,
yes.
for each activity that we undertake in the port, the law requires that we take environmental permits. So all the activities we take in the port, we take environmental. The Golden Jubilee Terminal, the Pond Terminal, the port expansion,
right.
the key 2 project that we did,
right.
we took individual permits for its construction operation.
Okay.
But we want to put all together as one permit.
Right.
So as part of the end product of this exercise, we'll submit documentation, the EMP to EPA, for them to give us a one omnibus permit for the port operation.
Right.
Yes. So
very well. Thank you very much indeed, GM. Let's go straight into today's topic. I just wanted to bring us up to speed with what the essence of the Green Harbour project is that GPHA is undertaking.
Green Harbour. If we say Green Harbour is part of an initiative to make a port sustainable.
Yeah.
If you talk about sustainability, a sustainable port,
it
means that ports that take particular or specific activities and undertakings to ensure that current and future needs of the port are taken care of.
Absolutely.
Whilst protecting and sustaining human life and natural resources.
Yes.
And green ports are also measures, strategies that are taken with monitoring practices at targeting reducing environmental impacts.
Right.
So it feeds into the sustainable port project.
Yeah.
But green port on its own is a whole project.
Absolutely.
That set out objectives, formulate strategies to be able to achieve those objectives. Yes. Yeah. And the port has not launched officially a green port project.
Right.
But various activities are being undertaken.
Right.
To get there, finally we'll do a formal launching
of the green port project.
And the strategies that we'll formulate will come out and we'll make it better to all our stakeholders.
Right. Right. Mr. Beko, let me come to you. I know there is this ongoing project where the port is trying to plant 1,000 trees within the enclave and then environs. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I also wish to take this opportunity to wish all fathers Happy Father's Day.
Absolutely.
Now, the greening of the port, the tree planting exercise that is ongoing in the port, as you are aware, we're trying to operate in a sustainable manner. So we're trying to create a certain carbon sink around our operations. Activities of port always end up emitting fumes and gases into the atmosphere that may cause certain environmental effects to human beings. So this tree planting exercise that we are undertaking is our way of ensuring that emissions that come out as a result of our port operations are curtailed, especially with carbon. Yes, especially with carbon. So management became very committed to plant 1,000 trees within the port environment, and every installation where, every location where we have GPHA facilities, anywhere we have GPHA structures, buildings, both within the port jurisdiction and beyond, we're planting trees there because our activities somehow is impacting negatively on the environment. So this is why management took this initiative to plant these 1,000 trees.
Okay. Yes, Jim, you want to add something?
Remember that last year, 11 June, the President, His Excellency, joined Ghanaians to plant about 5 million trees.
Yes.
And at that
program, last year I think they did
2021.
Last year they did 7 million trees. They wanted to do
initially 5 million was announced.
And they exceeded, sure. Yes.
And he told all Ghanaians that it's going to be an annual affair.
Absolutely.
We missed it. GPHA missed it.
Yes.
But we took a decision that the next project, 2022, will join the exercise.
Deeply involved, yeah.
Yes, we'll get deeply involved. So he urged all Ghanaians to be involved.
Yes.
So truly, 1st March 2022, he launched the 2022 campaign.
Edition, yeah, sure.
So from that day, we started making preparations. We did the management. Yeah. Management accepted it. Management pushed it to the board, and the board was so graceful to also accept it.
Yeah.
And the question we were asked was that, how are you going to take care of these trees?
Yeah.
You're all busy guys. You go and plant, and within a year they will.
Absolutely.
So we were asked to bring proposal on how to nurture these trees to grow so that we'll benefit from it.
Sure.
And like you said, the port activity itself emits a lot of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You need a carbon sink to absorb the gases. So it was a good project that the board saw reason and approved, and access to partner somebody to take care of these trees so that we get a benefit from it.
Yeah.
That's how Coastal Conservancy
organization came in. Okay. Yeah, so I'm coming to Mr. Eshon now. Tell us how far you've come with the planting of the trees and, how many you've planted so far and all that. But tell us about Coastal Conservancy Organization. What do you do? What's it about?
Coastal Conservancy Organization, once again, let me say Happy Father's Day to your viewers.
Absolutely.
It's a special day for all fathers.
Absolutely.
I think that the active fathers deserve the credits and the appreciation they are getting today.
Thank you, sir.
Back to your question. Coastal Conservancy Organization is an environmental NGO devoted or focused on regular, sustainable cleaning, removal, and cleaning, regular, sustainable cleaning and removal and reducing of impact, reducing of levels of impact of accumulated
yes, please.
Marine litter.
Yeah.
Other wastes from communities introduced onto the shorelines and aquatic habitats in the Greater Accra region since 2019.
Okay.
Part of our conservation and greening activities involve mainly tree planting, of which CCO had partnered and sought collaboration with Forestry Commission, especially the Tema division.
Right.
So at a point when we got hint of the tree planting exercise being initiated by Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, we put in a proposal to facilitate the planting. The initiative basically is from Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. They are the initiators, and we put in a proposal to be the facilitators for the planting. Like Mr. Gezi mentioned, the port industry is very busy, and they cannot continue with the busy activities inside the port and instead and go around planting 1,000 trees. That's a lot. So we put in an application to facilitate the planting. Currently, as I'm talking to you, we've planted 860 saplings, tree saplings. 860. The initial goal, like he mentioned, is to plant 1,000.
Yes.
And we've done 860. Meanwhile, we have some outstanding locations and sites still to do. And it is our belief that at the end of the day, we might even go beyond the 1,000. We might do beyond the 1,000. So currently, we've done 860. And we have some other areas still outstanding to plant. And it is our belief that we may go beyond the 1,000.
All right. So would you mind walking us through the areas, particular areas that these trees have been planted, so that, we work with a lot of people and we have people in these areas who would perhaps want to impress upon them to also keep an eye so that they can all help for us to nurture these trees. I know one of the roles you have to play is to help to nurture them until they stand strong before you can leave. So let's see some of the areas that these trees have been planted.
In our proposal to Ghana Ports, we mentioned that the tree planting exercise is going to take 3 phases. The first phase basically was the preparation for the planting.
Right.
There was a baseline survey of the entire port enclave. We identified the sites and locations. We even identified the variety of tree to be planted. Already there are some trees planted earlier in the enclave, and we wanted it to be uniform. So we identified trees that some are already there, so that when we plant the new ones, it will be uniform.
Right.
I mean, you see the aesthetic beauty. So the first phase was the preparation for planting. The second phase was the actual planting, which also hovered around the launching.
Right.
The launching.
Yes.
And then the third phase is the tending, protection, and the long-term management of the trees.
Okay.
And that is key. That is where we've gotten to now, after the planting.
Yes.
The tending, the protection, and the long-term management. What happened was that all the trees that we've planted so far, we've put a wooden protective cover on them. Wooden cover on them to indicate that there are trees planted at these sites and locations.
Yes.
So far, we've done location. I think that I would rather go to the where we've not done.
Yes.
Where we've not done basically is the.
It would have been important to also know where has been done.
Oh, we've done the Golden Jubilee Terminal area.
Yes.
The area
as for traffic, I've seen those
yes,
ones.
We've done the traffic area. In fact, the traffic area was supposed to be part of the launching ceremony planting day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the rain disrupted.
Absolutely, yes.
But when the dignitaries and the management left, we went
and
there to continue with the planting.
Yeah.
And there already there are some trees there, some very nice trees there. So the decision was that we were going to plant similar ones there to give it a uniform aesthetic beauty.
Right.
The tree planting, as much as we are doing reforestation and other things, it's also supposed to beautify the place.
Absolutely.
So decisions made, one of them was that if there are some variety there already, we can add same or similar variety to make it look beautiful, uniform and beautiful.
Yeah.
So we've done the Jubilee Terminal area. We've done the MPS side of the road towards GJT.
Yes.
Yes. There we had about 4 or 5 varieties there because already there are some lined up there, including the dwarf coconut.
Right.
So we added similar ones there. The acacia, the montalis, the dwarf coconut, and others. The Jubilee Terminal area, basically we did mahogany, also called the Kaya senegalensis, and then the royal palm.
Okay.
The royal palm. There we didn't want the bigger varieties.
Okay.
So this is what we did there. And we've also done the Harbour police station area to the agency block area.
Right.
We've done that place too.
Okay.
And we've put the wooden protective cover on them.
Yes.
Because the risk and the challenge we are envisaging, the port enclave space is not easy to come by.
Yeah.
And for that matter, trucks and vehicular activities there is a border.
Absolutely.
They park wherever they find space, notwithstanding whatever is there, destroying whatever is around the place. So we've decided to, in the third phase, which is the tending, protection, and the long-term management, we decided to place some of our volunteers there, physically place them there to ensure that they are able to control and direct vehicular activities, especially the trucks. So we've done this area. We've done also the fishing harbour area. From fishing harbour area, let me say that from Eastern Gate.
Yes.
Eastern Gate to the fishing harbour gate itself.
Right.
Fishing harbour inside, interior, no space for any further or additional planting.
Right.
Just at the gate where there's some space, already they have some palm trees there.
Yeah.
So we decided to add some royal palm to that one.
Right.
That would be just some few.
Okay.
So basically these are areas we've not done. First I can mention, it's a very...
I know you've also done Community 5, some around Community 5.
We've done Community 5, the entire Community 5, the Community 2 Hakro flats, we've done there too. In fact, Community 5, we even went further to plant in the school.
Okay.
We know and we've heard that GPHA a lot of times help the school in one way or the other. And for that matter, we got there were trees there, but on the other side of the school, that is where the football field is. There were no trees there. So we decided to plant, what do you call it? We decided to do the polyatia, those long, tall, this and there. But the information we are getting currently from the headmistress is that area boys playing football at the field are destroying some of the saplings, the tree saplings that we did. So there will be the need for us to go back and do them.
But that means that there will be a need for you to meet with the management of the school to put measures in place so that that doesn't continue. Because if they do, they destroy and you go and put there and no measures are taken to curtail that particular phenomenon, it means that it's going to continue.
The information we've gotten from the headmistress, the two headmistresses, is that the school is walled, all right, but there are no gates.
Right.
So people use the route to and fro, and the area boys are always playing football there. They cannot be controlled. So basically what we do is that we will go and have a talk, a discussion with the headmistresses, the best way that they can help us protect the saplings that we've planted there. So we will do that. We will definitely do that. And then also another place that has not been done, which is still outstanding, the Harbour police station frontage.
Right.
In fact, when we were doing our inspection, we were mentioning to the committee overseeing the tree planting that that would be a problematic area because of the way vehicles have been parked all over. And here we are dealing with Ghana Police.
Absolutely.
And we as an NGO cannot go and give any instruction.
So you need the support of GPHA?
We need GPHA possibly to lead us, go and talk to them, explain the rationale, and possibly where we will need to plant for them to create space for us. So that place is still outstanding. On the River Terminal Wall site, local information we got, we are yet to cross-check with the estate and environment, is that there are some cables underground by the wall. So we did not do any planting. We left that place for clarification before if the way is clear, we can then go ahead and do the planting. And some few areas. The median from the Harbour roundabout to the central gate, we have not done. There, we decided not to plant big trees because we wanted some ornamentals like some ornamental plant like bougainvillea and the rest of which Kapoor itself recommended. We've gotten some, and we are waiting for the opportunity when we get to the frontage of the police station. Possibly we'll do that one too. So we have about 6 outstanding sites yet to do, and that is where we are confident that possibly by the time we finish, we should be able to do more than the initial 1,000.
So now you've done 860, so you have 140 to go to hit 100,000.
Yes.
Yes, and you just said that you have about 6 sites remaining.
Yet to be.
And the 140 will not suffice for the 6 sites.
The 140, that's what I'm saying, that we may possibly go beyond 140.
Beyond the 1,000.
And the good thing is that we are currently keeping a nursery. Because the trees we planted same year, whatever, so that we don't plant some growing and some now starting. So we are keeping a nursery, some of these same varieties that we are planting. So that if we need to go and fill in, like the Community 5 one that we are talking about, the school one we are talking about, we have same age to be able to fill in.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Ishon, for bringing us up to speed with what you are doing as far as the 1,000 trees that GPHA has earmarked to plant within the port enclave and environs are concerned. Yes, GM, I thought you wanted to add something.
I just want to add that to show how serious we take this tree planting site, because when we missed last year's project, we felt very bad.
Yes.
So to show how serious we take this one, a special committee was formed. That liaised with Coastal Conservancy.
Yes.
They visited all the sites.
A committee of which I'm a member.
Of which you are
a proud member at that.
Yes. Visited all the sites. And discussed the varieties that they will need. And even brought in Forestry Commission to advise.
That's right.
On the varieties to be. So we take this thing very, very seriously. And like you said, we may even go beyond 1,000. The nation is planting 20 million. And if we're able to even plant 2,000, we'll contribute
Absolutely.
in our own small way to the national
Yes.
goal.
On the day, I heard the Director General, Mr. Luguje, Michael Luguje, Director General GPHA, mentioned that a similar exercises will be replicated in the port of Takoradi. He mentioned it during his speech. Yes.
Exactly. That was done.
And you're looking at the same numbers?
Takoradi may be lower than
Tema.
Because Tema is obviously bigger than Takoradi. So space is always a requirement, a problem in the ports.
Yeah.
Takoradi started their project outside the port. They planted, I think, 400 or so seedlings outside the port.
Right.
And I believe they will do a little more than that. Yeah.
Right. So let me stay with you. We can't talk about sustainability, of our ports without mentioning the environment, without mentioning the issue of waste management and waste disposal and all that. First of all, I want you to walk us through the types of waste that we generate in the ports.
Oh, Ken, in the port you find all the waste that you can think about. Garbage. You find plastics. That's part of garbage. You find waste oil, construction waste, all manner of waste. You find wooden or timber waste from construction and from packaging material. You find paper. So as a waste, you find all kind of waste in the port. Like all the waste that you generate in your homes, you find same in the port. Yes.
I know we have hazardous waste.
Can we, at the port itself does not set out to produce hazardous waste. We don't set out, we don't have any activity that produces hazardous waste.
Right.
But dangerous and hazardous cargo passes through the port all the time.
Yeah.
And we handle them. And the port, by international conventions, are obliged to manage it in an environmentally safe manner. So there's a special department that handles the cargo that passes through the port to ensure that they don't impact on the environment or the port environment. Also, to be able to manage the things, you don't need to scatter or spread the risk. So we decided to commission one terminal to handle dangerous and chemical waste, chemical cargo that passes through the port. So there's only one terminal that handles all the dangerous and hazardous cargo that passes through the port.
Right.
That TBT.
Yeah.
Remember when we discussed the Beirut incident? We talked about TBT.
Sure. Yes.
So every cargo that's marked as hazardous or dangerous cargo goes to that terminal. The reason being that you don't need to spread your risks in the port. If you give it to one terminal, they build a capacity to handle.
Right.
So they train their staff well, equip them with the necessary PPEs to be able to handle chemicals. So they build that capacity and expertise to handle chemicals.
Right.
If you scatter this all over, every terminal handles it, the capacity will be very poor. So that's one way of making sure that hazardous cargo that passes through port are properly handled.
Right. Okay, I know we have plastic. What's common with us that we know, we see every day, has to do with plastic and paper waste. And in your delivery, when we're having the Occupational Health, Safety and Environment Week, you made mention of some of these things and what you're doing. You also mentioned the fact that GPHA had begun to segregate some of these wastes. And we also recycle some of them. And you made example of the fact that the tissue paper we use at the headquarters is recycled from the waste that we generate. Can you bring us up to speed with this and tell us what we have been doing in terms of managing our waste as an authority?
Ken, thank you. Waste itself is a huge problem for the country. And its management, if not properly done, will create a lot of problems. That's even why we had a relationship with Coastal Conservancy, because we realized that the plastics were causing a lot of problems. You go along the coastlines, there were a lot of plastics creating problems for fishermen and even other life in our sea. So we engaged Coastal Conservancy to help clean some of the areas. It was a 1 year or 2 years, almost 1 year relationship. And if we find money, we will continue that relationship. We're still looking for money to continue that relationship. But what we have done in the port is to as one of the environmental management tools to try to reduce our waste generation. It's the first place we should reduce waste generation. Then also try to reuse where possible the waste, and 3, to recycle. We cannot segregate waste when we don't have, identify the waste that we have end users. So we can segregate them and give it to other entities to use them or recycle. We identify that plastic is possible to recycle. The plastic bottles and the rubbers possible to recycle. Paper is possible to recycle, like you said. So we've identified somebody who picks the paper, use it for toilet roll manufacturing, and they intend give us toilet roll. Yes, and then we've also identified that the wood that they use for packaging, the pallets and other things, when you go into the ship, they use wood a lot to help in the packaging, can also be reused. Some use them for firewood, some use it for other repackaging material, some use for even fencing, wooden fencing. So we give those ones away to be reused. So that reduces the number of waste that we carry to the waste dump site. Similarly, oil waste. We do a lot of oil, our equipment use a lot of oil, and we change the oil often. We don't throw them into the environment. There are people who come and collect and reuse. But what we try to do is that we make sure that anybody who takes waste from us has the capacity and also certified by EPA to handle them. We also, we also don't throw away our computer when they go.
Electronic waste,
Yes, not all electronic waste, but those who can identify users or people who can take them. Computer, for instance, we have a company that comes with certified to recycle. They come, take them, dismantle, and package it for export somewhere. So that's what we do as a management tool. So segregate some of the waste that we can reuse. The ones that we cannot reuse, put them together and send them to the dump site. So at least our waste generated in the port is reduced by this segregation.
And I know you've earmarked certain spots in the port where people can identify and dump their plastic wastes.
The plastic waste segregation started on a small scale. We are upgrading it. We've done 2 sites now where people can put their plastic waste there so that we can collect them and send them to the recycling company. You will see more of such sites in the port. Hopefully by the end of the year, we should see about 4 more of such sites.
Okay, please do.
To add to what Mr. Gazy said, the problems and challenges with waste management that compel the port to adopt the 3R waste management strategy, whereby we will have to reduce our waste, recycle, and then reuse them. Now, when you go to our dump site at home, the place is choked. Refuse in Tema alone has filled the place. And it's not only Tema that dumped waste over there. People bring waste from Accra to the dump site. So as a port authority, we thought it wise that if we don't adopt prudent waste management practices, there will be a time where we'll not even have a place to even dump. So we adapted this 3R system of waste management, which means we either have to reduce our waste, reduce them, reuse them, or recycle them.
Reuse, recycle.
Recycle. So that where we are able to reuse, we reuse the waste, and when we cannot reuse them, we can recycle them. So we identified companies that could handle waste, like you said. But if you are going to do recycling, it cannot go in bulk.
Absolutely.
It means we have to segregate them. So we decided to segregate the waste that we generate in the port into paper, plastic bottles, and then general organic waste. The essence is to reduce the waste that we send to the dump sites. You know, per the polluter pays principle, when you create waste, you pay it. When you take your waste to the dump site. They weigh it, and then they bill you, and then you dump. So with this 3-hour management system, people that should have gone to the dump site to be weighed and charged will not be sent there.
Right.
We identified companies that could recycle this paper. Now, they recycle this paper into toilet rolls and then hand them over back to us for usage.
Right.
So, one, we save cost in dumping at the dump site, at the same time reducing our budget in buying toilet rolls.
Tissue, yeah, sure.
We also have companies that are EPA certified that handle plastic waste. And then, like you said, we have electronic waste,
right,
like used computers, printers, cartridges. We don't just dump them on the landfill site. We have EPA licensed companies that we hand them over to.
Okay.
Now, before we engage any company to handle our waste for us, we have to check and assess your SOP.
Okay.
We see
Standard operating procedure.
Standard operating procedures.
Okay.
Tell us how you're going to handle the waste that we've handed over to you. We will document it and vet and go through it. If it is practical that this type of waste, no portion will end up in the environment, we give you the green light. Mind you, as a port authority, we have a duty of care to ensure that any waste that leave the port doesn't end up in the physical environment.
Right.
So we in order to operate sustainably, we identify these companies that are EPA certified to handle this waste, and then we hand them over to them.
Absolutely.
The waste we generate in the port, like Mr. Gezi said, are diverse.
Right.
Even the clinic, we have a clinic.
Yes.
Yes, we have hospital waste as well. So those ones too, we incinerate them. The sharp objects, the syringes,
gloves,
they don't end up
needles,
in the dump, they don't end up in the dump site. So I can say the waste that we generate in the port, very little end up at the dump site.
Right.
And we think this is a sustainable way of managing the waste in our port.
All right. Mr. Gezi, I'll come back to you. And when I come to you, I would want to find out from you what measures we are instituting to ensure that vessels calling our ports do not unnecessarily come to litter or come to pollute and get out without, any recourse to lay down procedures. Let me come to you, Mr. Eshon. You mentioned the issue of, cleaning, removal, reduction of levels of, and all that. So that tells us that you are not mainly into tree planting. Coastal Conservancy Organization, I know you're also into the protection of the coasts and all that. What are some of the activities you are undertaking in this particular venture, like protecting the coastal areas?
Thank you, Ken. Like I said, we have our focus, basically like I was explaining, regular, sustainable cleaning, removal, reducing levels, impact of marine litter, solid waste introduced onto the shorelines and aquatic habitats since August 2019. Yeah. That has been our main focus. And the greening and part of the conservation and green activities is part of what we do.
Okay.
And but the main focus, like I said, was the cleaning and removal of accumulated waste along the shorelines and other things. Now, this the tree planting exercise, our second engagement with Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Our first engagement was what Mr. Gezi mentioned, the cleaning of the beaches. What happened was that for 11 months, we were cleaning 10 beaches close to the port.
Right.
Starting from Pong, Paradise Beach between Pong and Newtown, Paradise Beach, Sunset Beach, 5 beach, which is very close to Fishing-able.
Right.
5 beach, and then from there we jump to Sakumono. Sakumono, Regional Maritime University Beach. There's this other beach at the... No, there's one at Dungwa even. There's one after... Oh, the name is not coming.
It's Sakumono?
No, after Maritime University.
Regional Maritime University.
There's this other one at Dungwa.
Okay.
And then from there you get to the Teshi, that long stretch, Samba.
Is it around the Titanic area?
No, beyond.
Beyond, okay, beyond.
Teshi, the Sangona area up to Dungwa, that long stretch. We were there too. And then we were also at Labadi, Labadi Beach.
Right.
Labadi Beach, we were at the public places, not where the hotels and the others are. Because they were collecting money and they had their own people. So we were cleaning the public places where nobody was cleaning. And then from there, we were behind the Osu Castle.
Right.
We were there, and then finally, the 10th place being the Independence Beach called Bola Beach.
Right.
We were at these 10 beaches for close to 11 months.
Wow.
And the impact, the success and impact was evident and immense, I can tell you. If you go to Teshi, the community is always, when activities came to a halt, every time they were calling, when are you coming? Because that was when they started with the canoe landing beach.
Yeah, the landing beach.
And they were asking, are we coming back? Because they were envisaging that if you don't, and they finished the canoe landing beach, the earlier situation that we saw, where the accumulated waste had gathered, created a big heap that we were able to remove, will come back, and probably the effects of the landing beach would not be felt. The threat will still be present, and it will not be felt. So this is our second engagement, the tree plan. The first engagement was cleaning the beaches close to the port. Close to the port. So was our first decision.
Okay.
And
so, please.
And the effects,
you said it was massive.
It was evident and immense.
All right. So I just want to find out from you, when you collect this waste from the beaches, what do you do with them?
Very good question. A lot of people, a lot of organizations, when they go to the beach, the beaches to do the occasional cleanup, they pick the plastic that has value. They pick the plastic that has value. Those that doesn't have any value, they leave them there. They leave them there. We were there picking everything, every waste. Plastic, textile, wood, ties, car ties, all other things. At one time, where we picked a car, what do you call it? A car part, a big car part at the beach. So we were picking everything. The plastics, we were giving them to our partners who were recycling them. That is the part of the value chain where recycling. We are talking about the transition to the circular economy, and we have some other partners there. The plastics, we were giving it to them. The plastics we were giving to them. The other waste that had no value, the textiles, the wood, and whatever, the assemblies were all supporting, bringing skip for us to put those in, and then they send them to the dumping sites.
Right. Okay. So you heard Mr. Emmanuel Eshon. He is the chairman of the Coastal Conservancy Organization. Also in the studios, Mr. Benjamin James Gazy. He is general manager, Estate and Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. And indeed, Mr. Andy Bright Beck, who is also the manager, corporate manager, Estate Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Tonight we are discussing environmental sustainability and the role of the ports. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we shall continue the discussion. Please do stay with us.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Go Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Go Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Go Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Go Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse. Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
All right, so you're welcome back. We are zooming straight into the discussion once again. And let me make a correction. I've been calling him Mr. Emmanuel Eshon. He's Mr. Justice Eshon. Justice Eshon. Sorry for butchering the name all this while. I'm deeply sorry. All right, so we are continuing the discussion. Remember, we are discussing sustainable environments and the role of the ports. And with us in the studios again, Mr. James Benjamin Gezi, he is General Manager, Estate and Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and Mr. Andy Brightbeck, who is also Corporate Estate and Environment Manager, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Mr. Justice Eshon is the Chairman of Coastal Conservancy Organization, CCO, partners of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, who are helping us with a tree planting exercise and who also undertake some jobs, as well as cleaning of the coastal areas, the beaches are concerned. So, Mr. Gezi, I said I was going to come to you and find out from you what we do in terms of trying to get vessels that call our ports to do the right thing, not to come and litter and pollute and then just get away as a port authority. But let me announce that pretty shortly we shall be going into the inbox to take your messages, and then you can also call. I've been told I can activate the phone lines. The number to dial is 020-552-8353. 020-552-8353. You can call in and contribute to the discussion. And if you still want to text us or send a comment, please, the number is our dedicated WhatsApp line, 0559-019-177. We'll be glad to share your message or comment with the rest of the world. Yes, sir.
Yes, Ken, thank you. Vessels coming to the port. Like we said from the beginning, the port operation is the maritime shipping trade itself impact negatively on the port environment. Yeah. The vessels that come emitting fumes, the operational equipment that we use in the port, the trucks that come in to take the cargo, all these and industries that are located in the port, all in these activities produce gases, greenhouse gases that pollute the port.
Yes.
Every port in the world is faced by such activities. So that is the reason why we need these trees that we are planting. That's the reason why we bought into the tree planting idea, because this greenhouse gas that's emitted is the main cause of this climate change that we have.
We're seeing, yeah.
So if we have trees in the port, enough trees in the port, they serve as a carbon sink. And it absorbs all these gases that are emitted into the environment, absorb it, store it for their food, and they release oxygen into the environment. So the more trees we have, the better for us. But coming back to your question, yes, vessels come into the port and they emit a lot of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, all the chemicals they emit in the environment. There are protocols and conventions that regulate some of these things.
Okay. So before you continue, protocol and conventions that regulate some of these things. We'll come back and continue from there. But let's go into the phone lines and welcome someone who's on the line. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I'm William. I'm calling from Cone.
William Kuhn. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Please shoot.
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful topic that you are discussing.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, so that is good work done. But
Thank you.
I would be so grateful if they can give us statistics of waste that GAPOA generates. Statistics of waste that GAPOA generates. Then they can also break it down. The one that they recycle and the one that they don't recycle for good analysis. Because what they are giving us, I mean, is not clear. So if they can break it down for us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Willie. We are deeply grateful to you for your call. You can also call 020-552-8353 and let's see what you have for us on the show. Guillaume, statistics.
Answer the question.
Let's answer.
Right.
Yes, let's answer.
We didn't know we'll be asked this year. Would have brought it, but like I said, the segregation and of waste started recently.
Right.
And we are upscaling it. So that would not be much now. For the paper segregation, we started with the offices. So every office assistant, or what we used to call them messengers, has a holding area for all the paper waste in the offices. And this is aggregated converged at one place.
Yes.
And the service provider come to collect them. For the plastic, we also started in the offices and we're holding them up at the clubhouse, the Community 2 Junior Clubhouse. Now we want to upscale it, bring a collection point within the port. We have 2 now. And I believe that by the end of the year, we'll have about 4 more where people can dump their plastic waste. What we are seeing is that there's no need to segregate these waste if you don't have use to them.
Right.
You segregate and send them to the waste dump site and put it all together again. No. We segregate what we can reuse or recycle.
Right.
So the pallets, which is wooden, have use for it.
Yeah.
The bakers and those who cook banku and kinky use them as firewood.
Right.
Some of the good ones, the good ones are not damaged. Some use it for fencing of their properties.
Okay.
We give them out to them.
Right.
So talking about, we have the volumes because every truck that pick waste from the port has a volume, and the number of trips are recorded.
Yeah.
When you go to the lump site, they weigh them and the charges. So all the records are there. I didn't bring it here.
So I'm sure William, if he insists on getting the statistics,
you
can make time and visit GPHA,
or send a mail, we'll provide
and then it
yeah.
will be provided to you.
Yes.
I don't think it should be a difficult thing to do.
But going back to
the protocols and conventions where you left off here. I understand we had one Emmanuel from Tema, but I have been told I understand he's back. Sorry, GM, we'll come back here. Good evening, Emma.
Thank you. I'm listening to your program and I just want to come to.
Yes, sir. Please flow.
I'm from Committee 2 and I started clearing 1990.
Okay.
And for my contribution is that I want to ask your panels. Mr. Justice Sean is my man at Committee 5, but maybe he can't recognize me.
Okay.
But my point is that for this environment pollution and other things, I think your men are answering the questions very, very beautiful. But I just want to ask whether fishing harbour, I just want to ask whether are they enjoying pollution? The GAPOA help fishing harbour because a lot of air pollution and other environments that they go through, whether the citizenry in fishing about maybe Newtown? Did they enjoy this kind of one would say?
Okay. Your point is well made. I understand it. Yeah, sure.
Yes,
we understand.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ima. We are grateful to you, sir. He's talking about fishing harbour, air pollution, and all that. And one of the questions that I had that was going to come to you was whether we have a way of measuring the air quality within the port enclave. So you can just tie that into Ima's question. Yeah.
For vessels that come, they are bound by international protocols to obey or behave in a particular way. For instance, the recent MAPO Convention, Annex 6, that was implemented in 1st January 2020, obliged vessels to use less sulfur fuel.
Okay.
I think the percentage is 5%.
0.5.
0.5%.
Yes.
So if you enter any port and you have any fuel that has higher sulfur content,
you can be stopped.
You swap.
Okay.
You change over to a fuel that has low sulfur 0.5. And GMA is supposed to ensure that all vessels comply. Vessels are supposed to keep their waste on board. Any waste you generate on board a vessel, including oil waste. Because vessels are just like vehicles. When they run a certain mileage, they change their engine oil and the fuel, lubricants, they change them. And hitherto, they were throwing them into the sea, polluting the sea. Now, laws have been implemented to make sure they keep the waste on board. They come to the port and give it out. And the port authority is obliged to provide a reception facility. We call ship waste reception facility in the port where they can give their waste. And this waste is environmentally handled and disposed of in an environmentally sound manner.
Okay.
And we have licensed about 16 reception facility in Tema and 2 in Takrady to receive ship waste. So ships don't come and litter their waste. And for ships, they also have protocols on board. And they segregate their waste. So they come already segregated. So you just go there and take them. Yes.
Right. All right. I'm told we have Bernard on the line. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, please.
I'm calling from Authority-GPHA.
Wow.
Origin. Yes, please.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I've been monitoring your program, and I'm very happy and glad you are talking about environmental sustainability.
Yes, sir.
My problem is the mining sector, because I've not been hearing about the activities of the mining industry and then their impact on those of us living within.
Hello. I think his line is truncated. Maybe he would try to make contact with us again. But I think that he had his own point that he wanted to make the impact of mining, on perhaps our waters and all that. But unless he landed, we wouldn't have known what. Unless he lands, we don't know what he really wanted to.
The mining companies, they all take their product from the port.
Right.
Their raw materials for.
Absolutely.
They all take it from the port.
Yes.
And we are bound, because they are chemicals and hazardous, we are bound to handle them in a way that they would not impact on the port environment. Sure. Once they get off the port, we don't have control, the port authority has no control over their. But what we know is that they all take EPA permit to bring the cargo in.
Yes, I understand Bernard is back. Say, let's go and pick him and come. Hello, Ben.
Yes. My brother, I will be most grateful if your program, because I'm very happy. Last time I was Mr. Kofi Mbia. I'm talking about port and what have you. And it's about environmental sustainability. So I'll be most grateful when people like some of us in the Tricia in our region are being enlightened about the work of a company like Newmont Ghana Limited, because their activities have a lot of impact on some of us. Because you realize that the explosions they do and then the chemicals they use for the explosion and then the underground work and what have you, most of them have impact on some of us living within their catchment area. But corporate executives and what have you do not enlighten us. Some of us who are naive about their operations, about their what they do, and then the impact on us, and then the profit we will get in the long run. Because as a matter of fact, some of the chemicals they are using, if we are to delve deeper, you realize that when it rains and we even drink the water, the rainfall from, as it were, some of us who are living in the villages, you realize that it has an adverse effect on our health. We will be most grateful if you note it down and then sometimes invite them, the mining company, about their activities, and then vis-a-vis the profit we will get from their operations within our catchment area. I'm most grateful.
All right. Thank you very much, Bernard. Thank you very much. Well noted. I think that it's simple. We'll try to reach out to the Ghana Chamber of Mining and see if we can have them one of these days and see what topic we can couch for them and then elicit some responses from them for you. We are grateful to you for your call. GM, yes, you were still making a point.
Like I said, for us, every cargo owner that handles dangerous and hazardous cargo needs EPA permit to even import that cargo.
Right.
And the permit has conditions, a schedule that gives the condition under which you can take the cargo from the port and transport to its destination. And one of the key components is that condition is that it should be the cargo should be taken by a company, a transport company that's licensed by EPA. This aspect is always disregarded by the
right.
So, as a port authority, we ensure that before you come into the port to take a cargo, you are licensed, a dangerous and hazardous, you are licensed to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's all we can do. Once the cargo exits the port, we have no control over it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, GM. I'm told we can't take any more calls because we have barely 7 minutes to wrap up. Let me go into the inbox. And this one says, please, the GPHA team are doing well, but we need the tons of waste they generate. I think that was the question that the earlier caller, let me complete it. They said we need the tons of waste they generate and they can break it down, if they can break it down for us, e.g. plastic, medical waste, etc. I'm Bill from Tema. Okay. Thank you very much, Bill. This one says, I have a small recycling machine. I need help. I believe with small investments, I'll get there. And this one says, statistics will help us. And how many tons do they recycle and which are not? Okay, percentages is better for analysis. I think it's the same person. All right, thank you very much indeed. We're grateful to you. I think that your question was answered by Mr. Gazy. And like you said, you can walk in anytime or even send a mail, better still, and there won't be any problems getting you the statistics and the information that you require as far as this fund is concerned. Let me come to Mr.
If you allow me, just add one more thing to
Please do, sir.
The vessel pollution. I think many people are not aware that Tema Port is developing an LNG terminal.
Yes.
We are
liquefied natural gas
terminal. Yes. So very soon we will have options, alternative fuel for vessels.
Yes.
So that alternative fuel is also clean.
Yes.
So once the terminal start operation, vessel can decide to come and take natural. So these are some of the ways that a port initiative that port can make to reduce the impact on environmental impact on the port, and also to help salvage the climate changes that is going on.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Let me come to Mr. Eshon and find out from you. I want you to give us the assurance. What are you going to be doing to ensure that the trees that you are planting for GPHA and that's Tema Port and the Enclave, and then what you're going to be doing in Takoradi, I don't know whether the same organization that's going to do it in Takoradi, how you're going to ensure that they really survive and going forward so that we can have, an appreciable level of, survival as far as those trees are concerned. Because you just mentioned that we're going to go beyond 1,000 per projections you've made or what you've seen so far.
Thank you, Ken. Your question I like it very much because for CCO, it is our wish that Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority will send us to Takoradi to go and do another 1,000 or more there.
Right.
Instead of the 400. The President's initiative this year, we are talking about 20 billion trees. That's a lot.
Sure.
So if organizations like GPHA, some other organizations in Tema, if they all come on board, if they all come on board, 1,000, at least it will add to. What information we got was that last year, 7 million that was planted. It was initially 5 million, but 7 million was planted. At the launch of the World Environment Day on June 5th, the information that came up was that about 6.3 million survived. Yes. That's good. That's a good percentage. So if we do, definitely we will not get all the 20 billion to survive, definitely. Because of the soil, the nature of the soil, there are a whole lot of factors. Right. Like I'm talking about vehicle activities somewhere else and like not tending, nurturing it very well. Because trees, they are like the babies we have.
Absolutely.
You bring them, you have to nurture them to grow. If you don't, they will not grow.
So we have your assurance that you will do that?
The third phase is the tending, the nurturing, the protection, long-term management. Right. We are seriously going to ensure that the 1,000 plants that we are doing will survive.
Thank you very much indeed. Let me come to you, Mr. Beku. Just in 1 minute, tell us, in terms of energy conservation as a port, how are we faring? Just in less than 1 minute.
Yeah, so energy conservation in the port. The Port Authority, we've taken certain initiatives towards energy conservation. We have replaced all our fluorescent tubes with energy-saving lamps. We've also replaced the gases that used to be in our air conditioners from the R22 to the R410. We've also installed solar panels on our headquarters, the GPHA tower. So we have solar as an alternative source of power in the building. And like I said, we are doing everything possible to provide or use energy efficiently. We've taken steps to procure wind turbines to provide wind as an alternative source of power in the port, where we could provide shore power to vessels that call in the port.
Great. Thank you very much. I think we don't have time. I wanted GM to have a last laugh, but my producers are telling me there's no time. So I think that I will just say a big thank you to Mr. Justice Eshon, who is Chairman, Coastal Conservancy Organization, CCO, Mr. Benjamin James Benjamin Gazy, General Manager, Estate Environment, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and Mr. Bright Andy Beku, Estate and Environment Manager, Corporate, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, for coming in and joining us to discuss environmental sustainability and the role of ports. God willing, next week we shall bounce back with another wonderful edition of Iron Port. Remember, the abridged version of the show is broadcast on Ghana Television every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Maximum respect to our sponsors, Goel Company Limited, Ghana Revenue Authority, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, and Meridian Port Services, MPS. The show, remember, is powered by the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. My name is Kennedy Mona. Have a super week ahead and enjoy the rest of the programs.